Things you hate about Tears of the Kingdom. If you hate at least one of these things, you have to subscribe by law. There isn't much connection to Breath of the Wild story-wise. It makes sense from Nintendo's perspective though. Why would they limit Tears of the Kingdom's player base to people that only played Breath of the Wild? So all the people that want to play this $70 game would also have to play the $60 game? Just doesn't make sense. But still, it'd be kinda cool to see old Sheikah technology, acknowledgement of the champions, or at least more people mentioning the Great Calamity. It's things like this that just make it feel like Breath of the Wild again, rather than a successor to Breath of the Wild. Still a minor complaint though. One of the biggest complaints about Breath of the Wild was how little variety there was. Yes, things like different regions and towns made the game a lot less boring than it would have been, but it seems like Tears of the Kingdom has the same exact problem. The Sky Islands were in a lot of the marketing for Tears, making it seem like they'd be a bigger part of the game than they actually are. Don't get me wrong, the Sky Islands are a lot of fun to explore for a good amount of time, but after playing for around 40 hours or so, it starts to become clear that, oh, these are all identical to each other. Not just in style either. Most of the Sky Islands are directly copy and pasted with little to no changes. I was honestly really excited to explore Sky Islands with different regions and styles. The Great Sky Island has its own snow area, so why aren't there more islands like this? It would have been so cool to see Goron Sky Islands or a Gerudo Sky Island, but instead it's all just yellow, man. And the depths have the same problem. It's just all the same. Fun, but the same. It's not just the Sky Islands and the depths too. The dungeons are all the same. While they're a lot better than Breath of the Wild's dungeons, which all looked the same, the way that you play these dungeons are all identical. Activate terminals with the power you just got. It gets old really fast. That, with the fact there aren't too many new bosses or mini bosses, makes Tears of the Kingdom feel a little too similar to Breath of the Wild. Speaking of the powers though, they're kind of Not only are they not as good as Breath of the Wild's champion abilities, they're just annoying to activate. You have to go into your inventory, navigate to your key items, find the one you want, press A again, and walk up to them. Press A, and press A again. Why? Why is this necessary? So you know in Breath of the Wild when you had to go around the world and press A next to glowy things for the story and everyone hated it? Yeah, Nintendo just thought that they could do it again and it'd be fine. No, but actually, I already wasn't a fan of this and it sucks that it's back. But what makes it worse than Breath of the Wild memories is that you can get them out of order. In my playthrough, I got the first two in order and got a later one directly after. It really felt like I had spoiled the game for myself, even though nobody told me that I had to do these in a specific order. You hate that it's so easy to spoil the game for yourself, and I heard that a lot of you have done this, so my condolences. The argument could be made that you can get memories out of order in Breath of the Wild, but that's completely different, because we already knew what happened in Breath of the Wild. We knew that Calamity Ganon took over Hyrule, we knew Link was put to sleep for 100 years, and we knew the champions died. And Tears of the Kingdom, we know almost nothing, so knowing parts of the story early is a huge problem. It really feels like Nintendo added the time travel stuff just so that we could have the memories back. You hate how repetitive the story is. While a lot of the past stuff with Zelda is interesting, the story that you experience in the game is very lackluster. You wish the stages weren't so repetitive. Seriously, it's the same cutscene over and over again. You miss Revali's Gale. Tillin's ability is nice, but you miss being able to fly it without rockets. You hate that Tears of the Kingdom took away your wind bomb reflexes. You hate that the Master Sword kind of sucks, unless you fuse Lionel parts to it. It's disappointing because of how much it was hyped up throughout the game. You hate picking up items when Tulin is around. I hate this f***ing chicken! You hate that the Zonai wing disappears after a while. Swordplay is exactly the same as how it was in Breath of the Wild. You would think that in the time between games, Link would pick up a couple new moves. Talk about lazy. You hate that Bokos can headbutt you. If Link can't learn new abilities, why can the Bokos? You hate swapping runes because they're used to Breath of the Wild's controls. I feel you. There could have been some way to not have to fuse arrows one by one. You wish the bosses were harder. They're really easy, and I don't think I've done to one once. You hate how there's still not enough shrines to get max stamina and hearts. You hate how every shrine shares the same interior. I don't think it's as bad as it was in Breath of the Wild, because the shrine design in Tears of the Kingdom is just better. It could be because it's new, and not the same thing I've been playing for 6 years, but I do really like the Tears of the Kingdom shrines. But I can definitely see how these shrines can get repetitive in the future. You hate how bad it lags sometimes. It's not a huge deal, but it's very noticeable sometimes. But the thing you hate most about Tears of the Kingdom is undoubtedly Cass is just gone. Where is he? He just disappeared. We need our ears blessed with the sound of his accordion once again, please. Hey, thanks for sticking around till the end. Click here to see 10 differences between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.